Hey, it's Alosha,
And I'm Zoya.
and we are here in St. Petersburg forest. Yeah, beautiful day, and we'd just like to elaborate a little bit more on the video that we've started about the failing of communities. The subject is really close to my heart, of communities and Anastasia, Kindermain villages. It's very close to me, so it was very heartbreaking to hear it, to understand that it's actually the path that's leading into nowhere. And my realization started that I was just developing, because I was designing my own community, as you know, in the south of Russia. Then I went to go to Siberia, and I just saw a lot of rules, and I was developing a lot of rules for the community. For example, imagine that you're living in a close-knit community and people use saws, loud machinery. Now, let's say that we have finished our building period of homes and everybody's got their homes. So now somebody needs to chop some firewood, for example, and they use this wood saw. Today I'll use the wood saw, tomorrow you'll use the wood saw, the next day they'll use the wood saw, and that means the whole week so of course the rule comes, why don't we all use the saws on Tuesdays? And the rest of the week, it's Zen time. So that's just one of the rules, which seem quite logical. So what do you think is the problem with creating rules?
Я думаю, что создание правил это то, что нам понятно, потому что мы по-другому никогда не жили.
It's something that we resonate with because we've never lived any other way.
И поэтому, да, это логично, это обосновано, ведь это комфортно должно было бы быть для всех, так нам кажется, из нашей привычной логики.
Yeah, it's comfortable, it's logical, and from our previous consciousness, that just seems the right way.
Ну, логика это то, что видится целесообразным и созидательным, но логика это не то, что работает в реальности.
Logic, in this case, seems like it's the right way to go in terms of co-creation and collaboration, but logic is not built from reality.
Если я побеждаю своего соседа, опережаю своего соседа, то я успешнее, якобы, и поэтому счастливее его.
Okay, so
Да?
логика.
Да, логика нам подсказывает, что так
So,
должно быть.
so logic also suggests to us that if I am better than my neighbor, if I am more successful than my neighbor, then
И затем я буду счастливее.
then I will be much more happier. That's what our logic tells us.
Да, но реальность показывает, что если я стремлюсь построить дом больше потому, что мне нужно показать своему соседу, утереть ему нос, что он менее успешен, чем я.
So the reality shows us that if I build myself a bigger house to get myself feeling above him for that moment, then
Затем, о каком я соседстве могу говорить, счастливом соседстве?
then what happy harmonic neighbors and networks can we be talking about if the main reason I built myself a bigger house was to push him down, get myself up, and build my self-esteem right up there.
И вся наша оценочная система координат нам внушает, что мы должны быть счастливее от того, что мы побеждаем. Победа – это просто превосходство над другим.
Okay, and all of our inner worldview is suggesting that when we win over our neighbor, friend, brother, father, mother, then we are more happier.
И мы верим, что после этого должно случиться наше счастье, и потом пытаемся построить какие-то поселения. Это один только пример.
So then we believe that we're going to create happiness like that and build eco-communities from that sick worldview. And this is just one of the samples.
То есть мы выросли на оценке 5 тебе за то, что ты лучше, чем твой сосед по партии.
Okay, so that came obviously from when you got 100% for your test, and your schoolmate got 30% or 40%, and you were better than him, and therefore it also stems from Olympiad. Yeah, the first one gold medal, he's higher. Then the silver medal is lower, and then the bronze medal is the lowest. So simple tricks like that is just really boom, ingrains that into our psyche, into our mindset, into our worldview so deep. Yeah, I myself had a very deep process today on very deep. I was crying and screaming, and because I went to the community of Vasorion and to be with the happy people, because the people were really amazing. But the Vasorion came into my dreams 3 times, and Zoe kept on asking, like, why is you dreaming about him? And we realized that I want to look into his eyes. Mm-hmm. So she played out the Vasorion, and I closed my eyes and I said, and what came out was that I wanted to hide from Vasorion the Savior, so my body does not get killed, because all of our history, if you did something that is outstanding or way out of the ordinary, you either got shot or killed or poisoned or laughed at, everything but to push you down or really kill your body, destroy your body. So that deep fear of losing physical body by doing something extraordinary is very deeply ingrained. So I wanted to become the black crow, not the white crow, but the black, or the grey elephant, the normal great elephant, not the white elephant standing out, but the grey elephant, blend in with the crowd, because Vasorion the Savior was going to provide for us and tell us how to live, because he's now making the rules, and there are a lot of rules, and the rules are so deep that if you don't follow them, you get taken off the mountain. The house you build, you leave it behind, they'll give you another house somewhere in the village at the bottom, but you get taken off the top mountain from the house that you build with your own hands if you don't follow the rules. So that's quite crazy.
Да, но это правило, и должно быть всем от этого хорошо.
But these are the rules, and they are designed to make everybody feel happy and good.
Так подсказывает нам логика, наши программы, да, из детства.
Such suggest our logic, our programs from our childhood. Yeah.
И о чем ты больше всего плакал, когда мы зашли в эту параллель, что с чего начиналось, когда отец говорит рисовать вместо квадратных колесиков круглые?
Yeah, so just to explain to you a little bit more how that whole crying thing started, and me dropping or attempting to drop the program was started at the age of 3, when I used to draw these interesting bikes with diamond wheels, but these wheels would be magnetic to allow for hyperspeed, and I was told that in school and by my dad that you don't draw wheels like that. Wheels are round. You don't draw wheels, because at that moment nobody heard of magnetic trains or anything. We were talking about 34 years ago. So I was forced to draw round wheels, and what really hooked me when Zoya played out my father and said, if you don't change the way you draw your wheels, I'm gonna walk away and you can stay here alone in this room. And I just lost it. I was, no, don't go away, please, don't leave me here. I was so scared alone. I'll change the wheels. And I changed the wheels into round wheels.
Окей, ты получишь тогда мою любовь, да, когда ты по правилам будешь рисовать правильные колесики.
Yeah, you will get my love when you are going to draw round wheels according to how our society draws all the wheels. And I was just broken. I was like, yes, and I drew the round wheels, put my hands down, and my whole life, even up until now, every drawing I make, I send it to my dad to show him so I could get his, yes, that's good, oh no, that's not good, change that, and I go and I listen and I change that like I'm under hypnosis.
И мы верим всю оставшуюся жизнь, что это и есть любовь. Вот подавил меня отец, сказал вот так, и ты получишь мою любовь. Мы верим, что это и есть любовь.
So for the rest of my life, all our lives, we feel that is love. When we are pushed down, and then we are well done, then that is love. My father gives me the good remark for me subserving under him and giving him what he wants.
И мы всю жизнь называем это любовью.
And for the rest of our life, we call that love.
Да. После этого ребенок говорит: мой папа меня любит. Да? Он верит, что
And
это
after
и
that,
есть любовь.
the child says, my father loves me, because he gets that, well done boy, that is love. But how is that connecting to the communities?
То, что ты в итоге, это напрямую связано, потому что ты едешь потом взрослым мужчиной к какому-то мужику, который говорит: я Бог, ты в этой программе, в тюрьме.
And of course, now that I'm 37 years old, I'm going to Visorion, who claims that he's God, so you can't get higher than that on planet. You go, I mean, he lives on a mountain and in the highest house, and he is God. He's the God, he's the Christ, you know. So I go to the Christ to go and see in his eyes, so I could say to myself that I'm not a piece of shit, you know, if I can be so frank. That I have his blessing, and Zoya gave me Zoya played out for Sora and gave me a few options, which is exactly what happened. So and that's what they told me.
Копай 5 часов туалеты. Копай говно.
Dig manure for 3 years, 5 hours a day, and then we're gonna see what cool ecodomes you build, or what water systems you build, what sketches of inventions you have later. Now, for 3 years, you dig manure like everybody else for 5 hours, and then we'll see all your cool parts. And then they can tell you, okay, now you can draw. You've dug manure for 5 years, 3 years. Now we give you permission to draw. So, and that was very scary, because she made me burn all my you know, Sorian through Zoya made me burn all my drawings, forget them, just, you know, be subservient and do as you're told. Otherwise your house is, you know, you can't live in the community, you'll be pushed away, which is what they've done in African communities or in American or ancient communities. If you really stood out, the worst fear was to be pushed out of the community. Alone out in the wild, you can die very quickly, because you don't have protection, wild animals, cold, and food. So that program of literally losing your body to death, dying, is ingrained so deeply that you'll do anything to protect your body.
Да, потому что остается выбор только: либо отказаться от себя как от Творца, но выжить. Да?
Okay, so we have a choice. We either disconnect from ourselves as a creator, but survive.
Если ты умертвляешь себя как творец, если ты отказываешься рисовать квадратные колесики и рисуешь только круглые, да, начинается с этого, то ты будешь жить. Если ты проявишь какую-то незаурядность, неординарность, то тебе не жить.
So if I draw round wheels like the society expects me to, then I will live. Okay, so just to build that argument. Okay, so I can keep my body and I have the right to live. And it really even connected with my breath. After the program, in that process, I couldn't even breathe, because it was like my heart was tightening. I mean, I had tuberculosis 2.5 years ago, and that's the kind of stuff that it's, you know, that's what's activated. So if I draw the round wheels, and I have the right to live. Literally, that's the program. Boom, right there. If I draw my own wheels that are magnetic, that don't look round, you're a piece of shit. You're not worth a thing on this planet. The society doesn't need you, and literally you're destined for death.
Ну и трагедия в том, что когда ребенок, который формировался в этих условиях, потом он мужчина, не может остановиться и продолжает просить, чтобы ему дали разрешение, он же становится отцом, он же то же самое сделает со своим ребенком.
The tragedy that is happening here when this thing happens to me at the age of 3, I'm now a grown man at 37 running for, let's call him Christmas Father. Let's call him Christmas Father. The white beard daddy, be it Visorion, be it Deepak Chopra, be it Sai Baba, be it anyone that's higher than us, that we subservient, that boom, we need them to give us permission to live. When I grow up, I do the same thing to my son. I force him to, I even say words, I put him in his place. How does he know? He needs to be put in his place. I'm like, Zoe's like, what place? How can you put anybody in any place? Why did you say that?
Потому что отец бессознательно не может простить ребенку свободу. И я лишился свободы, будучи ребенком. Я бессознательно, завидую своему ребенку, у которого еще есть внутренняя свобода.
Okay, so when I lost freedom when I was a child, which I did, we all did, and now my child is showing a little bit of freedom, not a little bit, he's showing a lot of freedom because that hasn't been broken into him. I do everything I can, and that's obviously is grinding any father. In fact, it's grinding anyone. Anyone you see is going to be grinded by someone who's happier than them or who has more freedom than them. So I immediately try and break my son, to remove that freedom, to put him in his place, and then what? I feel good. Yeah, I do feel good.
Потому что я выше него и самоутвердился.
Then I feel good because I am above him, and therefore, and that is, remember, it's mixed up with love. So when I'm better than someone, above than somebody, then that is love. From the logical argument that we've been building this movie during this movie. So that is what's happening. So I get that nice kick when I push him down, and that's like an addictive feeling. Even if we said, when my father did that to me, I had an incident. He doesn't even remember, but I remember. I ate a chili. I'm probably 3-4 years old, and I distinctly remember it was in Moldova, dark bathroom in our flat, and I'm screaming because this chili is burning my mouth, and he's like, shut up, shut up, shut up, and he hits me just so I could keep quiet. And I have to shut up because he just hit me, and I'm scared of being hit, but my mouth is burning, but he's like, oh, is screaming at me. And I'm talking about situations that you guys can remember from your life. And then boom, although I said I'll never be like my father, I do the same thing to my son. Mm-hmm. Why do we repeat the program that it was so bad that my father did that to me? Why do I do that to my son? Why do I repeat it?
Потому что у тебя вообще нет другой реальности, кроме того, чтобы возвеличиться и почувствовать якобы себя живым.
Because I don't have any other reality how to feel good and how to be alive.
Да.
I don't know any other reality. I don't know any other. It's not even a program. It's not a program. It's another reality of being who I am. So the person who lives within the programs, and it's pretty much all of us, doesn't know anything outside of the programs, and he can't even realize that he's living in the programs.
Да, он просто обречен все равно мыслить только внутри программ, как мне возвеличиться или как мне унизиться, чтобы получить якобы любовь. Всё.
Okay, so he she can only think within the programs of how and there's only two main programs.
Да,
only
конечно.
two main programs. How he can rise above somebody, or how can he be a victim below somebody. That's it.
Да. И это есть природа иерархии. То есть, если я подавлен своим отцом, да, если я под отцом, я бессознательно буду стремиться своего ребенка удерживать под собой, потому что иначе мне не над кем возвеличиться. Как я тогда якобы обрету себя?
So if I am above my father, no, if I'm below my father,
Да.
then my child I'll always keep below myself. Otherwise, how can I show my self-worth?
Да.
Of self-worth and self-esteem. I mean, that just gets shattered. If my son is feeling more freedom and more happy than I am, how can I ever be more happy? Although it seems absurd, but really I break him so I can be more happy at that moment. Of course, it doesn't lead anywhere. Currently my son is not even talking to me, but that's the reality, and that's why I started digging and working on myself, because what eco-settlements can we be talking about if I can't even get it right with my own son? That's the honest truth. So then I go to Visorion, because he's the new Christmas father with the white beard, who's going to give me a bit of love, who's going to give me protection for my body, not to be killed, but the price to pay is dig manure. Forget your drawings, forget your eco visions. This is what you're doing. And then once we break once they break me, then in 3, 4, 5 years they can look at my interesting eco homes and inventions and bring them out. But pause them until then, because 5 hours a day of doing community work, which seemed like so great at the moment, because that's the main reason why community is working, because everybody's putting in 4 or 5 hours a day. But then I had another interesting situation. I didn't like this vibe of doing 4 or 5 hours a day for them digging manure. But then I went to visit another village in this community, and there was a beautiful drawing, you can see it on the screen now, of master craftsman studio, like городок ремесленников, like where a bunch of master craftsmen have their little workshops and kids can learn glass blowing and metal hammering, blacksmith, woodwork, etc., beading. So they have this beautiful drawing on the table, and then I immediately got fired up, because that's so close to my heart for our children, and it's part of the bigger drawing, which you can see here, which we have in our community that I've designed with Paul Richardson. That is part of that. So I went and put 15 hours straight to create a booklet and to create a landing page for this whole eco resort for the kids. It's Eco Master Craftsman for kids. So what I'm trying to say is, because it was close to my heart, because it was according to my values, and because it was what I could help them with, Photoshop, video editing, web development, I helped them gladly from my heart. So when somebody was forcing me to dig manure for 5 hours, I was like, no. But when they showed me and inspired me with something inspirational for the children that was close to me, then how can I help? Really, I wanted to help. So that's very important, those two distinctions. So we're going back to having rules versus organically growing together. So while Zoya is thinking about it, this is what I came to realize, that trying to plan a whole community of how we're gonna all live, what rules are we all gonna have, that is destined for failure, as scary as it sounds. But if we, for example, let's say I'm having this workshop next year in 24th of May, where we're building this super cool house, you can see it on the screen, designed for Russian winter. And some folk come into the workshop, decide, hey, they like working together with me. Not working together, we like co-creating together. Like, for example, one of the students already offered, can I stay for a few months afterwards, and maybe we can do something else, or finish this house, or maybe organize another workshop. And you know what? If things are working well with another person and the dynamics of co-creation are happening, why not?
Да, без проблем. Почему нет-то действительно? Ну просто тогда это другое название. Тогда нам не нужно педалировать на слово комьюнити, да? Значит, это другое слово.
Okay, then it's another word. Then we can't be pressing on the word community. Then it's a completely different concept. It's what is it then?
Нам нужно придумать свое слово, что это будут за такие гармоничные связи. Это, если это не биокомьюнити, то биосообщество, биовстреч, я не знаю, биофорумы и так далее.
Then we need to start figuring out a new name for what we're trying to create here, such as bioharmonic settlements, or anything. It actually doesn't matter how we call it. How it works.
Да,
and does it work, that's...
Неважно название. Важно, что мы можем встречаться на какое-то время, обогащаться взаимным опытом. Это же безумно интересно.
Okay, so
что нам мешает,
да? So it doesn't matter what we call it. The main thing is that we can come and join for a certain period of time and co-create something together and then split apart and people do their thing and you do their thing and then either them join or other people come and again co-creation together after we had a pause and a break and then we co-create another project and then it was split apart. Mm-hmm. So it's a very liquid, morphing, ever evolving thingamabob.
Ну, мы в любом случае свободны от правил, мы можем встречаться, высаживать леса, рекультивировать земли, придумывать новые проекты, объединяться для каких-то эпизодических строительных программ.
Zoya says, because we're not locked by rules and regulations, then we can do anything. We can go and, for example, replant Siberia after all the fires. Or grow food forest gardens together, or go and help children with a project in the school, and for that period we're together helping children to grow vegetables.
Конечно.
And then we morph apart. So it's very liquid, because the communities I saw was, I need a web developer there because he's gonna do this. We need farmers who are gonna do the permaculture. We need this. And the wife of the farmer needs to do that. So everybody is utilized, ultimately very optimized and very regulated. Because now suddenly, if that guy who was a farmer no longer wants to do farming, then it'll be a problem, because we need a farmer, because I'm not a farmer. So, and that's the problem. We're trying to create a community before actually even living with people. Imagine we get 70 people, 70 families. How diverse I'm alone and how diverse you are. Now, let's try and put 70 families together with a distinct plan that this is what we're going to do, this is where we're going. Everybody agrees in the beginning. Of course, everybody will agree in the beginning. And people's cockroaches and old programs kick in. And that one builds a bigger house. That one has a better car. And now fighting and raging and disagreements. And then everything goes to hell.
И тут очень хороший пример приходит на ум, когда в Финляндии как бы красивая картинка, очень чистая Финляндия, и мы переезжаем границу, там чисто, как только мы на российскую границу выезжаем, все в мусоре, все грязное.
Okay, so here's a good example. Finland, which is how far away from Finland is from here?
Да, я не знаю, несколько часов, прям несколько часов.
2 hours drive. Mm-hmm. We're like St. Petersburg, north of Russia. So Finland is very clean, very tended for, looked after, perfect. But as soon as you cross the border to Russia, all the Finland people, not
просто
all,
открывают окна машины, багажники и вышвыривают весь этот мусор на российской границе. Русские то же самое делают, все вместе.
Finland people who are respecting their own country, as soon as they cross the border, open the boots, open the windows and just throw the rubbish right at the border of Finland, on the Russian side of the border. Just so that's people were told neat, be like this, never, no rubbish, recycling only, and they're all doing like it's the right way and showing their friends the right way, but as soon as they cross the border, they open their boots and they just chuck all their shit right out. So the rule did not help.
Нет, не работают и не помогут никогда. И все войны из этого и состоят, что один приходит, устанавливает правила, чтобы сделать всех счастливыми, и создается новая война, новые страдания.
Most wars, in fact, happen from another country, another leader trying to make other people happy in another country. English people came to India to try and fix them. The Europeans came to Africa to try and fix them. The Spanish came to South America to try and educate and make people better in South America. And how much blood was spilled in trying to enforce certain rules and make other people better? Too much.
То есть правила — это колонизация, это рабовладельческий строй.
The rules are colonization and slavery. That's what rules are. There's no other way.
Да, а чтобы вместо правил были договоренности, когда люди уважают друг друга и действительно искренне желая взаимодействовать, помогать друг другу, они должны чувствовать внутри свободу, что у каждого есть возможность открывать свой потенциал, тогда не будет соперничества, тогда будет доверие, тогда будет желание действительно помогать и слышать друг друга.
So we have the making of rules, which is slavery and colonialism, versus let's chat about it, let's come to a conclusion, let's discuss it and come to a really good solution about something together from practice. It's working or something is not working, how do we tweak it? And that is going to bring much more inspiration, much more freedom, really awesome moments together.
Уважение и доверие.
Respect and trust. Respect and trust towards the other. That's what that's going to birth if we chat about something and decide on something together versus somebody else. A good example comes. Zoya just researched an eco-settlement Radosvet. Okay? Because they're quite active on their marketing, and wherever you go you hear Radosvet, 1 hectare, Anastasia, all of that beautiful story, drones flying, showing the land, showing them all holding hands together. And of course I'm like, that's just so beautiful. Zoya goes, Radosvet, testimonials. And what did you hear, Zoya, in testimonials of Radosvet?
Ну что там отзывы, мужики, бегите отсюда, не вздумайте, даже не думайте сюда соваться, это такое гнилое место. Люди улыбаются, потому что боятся говорить правду, как им плохо, и так далее. Там очень много.
Hey guys, run away from this place. This is a hellhole. People are just smiling because they're scared if they're going to be chucked away. Or because they're actually feeling very suppressed. Why are they suppressed? What's wrong there?
Они боятся быть честными, потому что боятся быть наказанными за это, изгнанными.
They are scared to be truthful because they're scared to be pushed out of the community, such as the contract.
Там нет мяса,
No meat, no
алкоголя,
alcohol,
курить вроде нельзя,
no
что-то еще
smoking.
Какие-то, куча условий. Правила.
Many rules, okay? Which seemed like yes, that's good. But
это и есть рай, да?
That is heaven. But people are just so scared to live there because they arrive there and they live there, they sell their flats, they move onto the land, and it's a very harsh reality. It's really not all that peaches and roses like we're being shown to. So the people are scared the reason they're scared is because they're going to be pushed out of the community if they break the rules, and if they get pushed out of the community, they are all alone. And that is a program that is ingrained in us from many years. You remember I spoke about when you get pushed out of the community, out in the wild, you can die. So although that is not true now, but it's still the program is sitting so deep.
Да, этот страх того самого ребенка, того самого мальчика Алешеньки 3-летнего, да, который кричит: папа, не уходи, не бросай меня. И с этим взрослый человек ничего не может поделать, если он этого не осознает.
Okay, so it's the same fear from the little Alosha of 3 years old Daddy, don't leave me, don't leave me. I will change the wheels. Here, I'll draw them around. Please stay with me. Don't leave me alone here. And I can't do anything without it until I realize these programs and have a way to work through them. And it's nasty the way to work through them. It's quite a harsh knock. But and until I realize how to and what these programs are, I'm destined to be brewing in this insanity for the rest of my life. And everybody is. Look around you. Those fake smiles in America, just dig a little bit and you'll see a rotten face turning very quickly from those fake smiles. Cheese!
Так что пока мы внутри не будем выяснять отношения с этой болью, мы так и будем носить фейковые улыбки и пытаться создавать фейковые поселения.
So, until we realize where is this pain coming from, and what is the root of the pain, and how we can work through it, we're going to be providing the fake smiles and the fake communities, because it really seems so sweet from outside. I mean, I got sold into the vision like this, and everybody's getting sold into the vision, but after traveling to many settlements, I'm not seeing collaboration. I'm not seeing abundance. Like here, look at nature.
Вот везде синенькое.
You look at all these berries, amazing berries. So this is the kind of abundance that I'm expecting to see. But I'm not seeing that abundance in the human settlements. Not at all. Because there's no collaboration. But we'll be discussing that in our future videos. Why people struggling to collaborate. So with that, I know we're going, seems like nowhere, but we're going somewhere. But it's just the realizations that we have to share with you. So we don't let you go on fantasies that I have been running for the last 10 years that are unattainable. And they make me lose a lot of energy and money to try and save the world, to try and create this beautiful paradise, fractal eco-settlement. Jacques Fresco had beautiful ideas. So unless we heal our programs and remove them completely, all of them, I don't think we can create anything harmonious on planet. And we'll just knock ourselves off this planet. And the planet is fine.
Не из красивого поселения придет покой в наши сердца, а что, будучи свободными, творящими, креативными, мы, как следствие, не можем не создать какое-то сообщество, в котором все будут в единстве.
We are not going to receive the harmonious, peaceful, calming feeling from a beautiful community. When we create the harmonious feeling within ourselves, and we have worked through all of these programs, and we come to a sense of peace and just settled in life, and loving ourselves, from there we will be creating some forms of eco-biased harmonic settlements, however we call them. Only from there, not the other way around. So we need to heal ourselves before we can build the beautiful environment and communities in whatever form. The communities and beautiful environment are not going to heal us. Although we are in this forest, and I feel good being in the forest, but the feeling goes away pretty quickly. If you speak to some of those community members, even in Siberia I just came from, and Anastasia communities, 90% of them are not even looking at the mountains anymore. They're so engrossed in their day-to-day living, vegetable growing, kids to school, doing this, doing that, milking the cow. Then, mountain? What mountain? They're bored of the mountain. Because the inside, they're still broken. So the beautiful nature is quickly forgotten. Because the pain inside is killing you, rotting you. You just can't do anything. So it doesn't matter where you are. So we need to get the harmonious feeling here, because then we'll create the environment that will resonate with us and other people. But I'm starting to realize that it starts with the family. Yeah. But we'll be sharing more in the near future.
Не комьюнити придет и спасет нас, а комьюнити естественным образом родится из нашего гармоничного сознания.
So not the community is going to come and save us. Community is going to naturally be birthed from our harmonized consciousness and self. Thanks, guys. Please post your comment below. Let us know what you're thinking about this important topic. If you have some stories to share, we'd love to hear it. Subscribe to our channel. We'll be sharing more info about our new channel, which is more about consciousness integration. And support our journey by purchasing our Abundance of Water online training or Biodome Home online training. Proceeds from this courses are going to allow us to continue digging this important research and sharing it freely with you. Thank you.